Hello everyone and welcome to the Wicked Weekly. My name's Brian if you happen to be new around here, and today we're breaking down all that is coming with the future of No Rest for the Wicked. Patch number 1 is starting to take more shape. Thomas has shared some new details about what we can expect, and honestly there's some really interesting things here. I think some controversial things, some things that we're going to be having a debate on in the comments, so I'm really looking forward to y'all's thoughts, especially about it, because I'm mixed. I don't want to tease too much of it. We will talk about it in this video. We're also having an update on the status of consoles. The number one question we keep getting here at the channel is, what is the status of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox releases? I do have an update for you. We're going to talk about that as well. And beyond that, I do have a little bit of a channel update that I'd like to kind of give you guys some interesting news. You guys have been incredible, and I can't wait to share this information. And then finally, we're going to end this video with a message of hope for those of you out there, especially my fellow strugglers out there. We're going to talk about some good stuff here in today's video. But first, it's true. My first hardcore characters run has officially come to an end. Oh, crap. That's it! I knew it! Oh my goodness! Oh, he was waiting for me. He was waiting for me. And it wasn't that I just fell down to the ledge. It's that I fell off of that too. So it was the whole push. Oh my gosh. I love it. Let's give away a copy of the game, shall we? But the good news is we were able to give away 3 copies of No Rest for the Wicked on the live stream because of your amazing support, both in the terms of super thanks and in super chats. You guys were absolutely incredible, and that allowed us to do more and give more and get more players into this game. Plus, I was able to give away 2 additional copies to those who left comments on that live stream. So if you guys just keep watching these videos and keep liking these videos, that's going to be something that we can really kind of help grow out this game and this game's community to the nth degree. And speaking of that, we have to welcome in over 1,100 of you guys who are new here to the channel. Welcome in. This is Scout Yaman, Damian Brown, and House Feinstein Blackblade 4803. Sometimes I do wonder if maybe y'all are making some alts just to see if how bad I butcher y'all's names, but I do appreciate you guys taking a chance on the channel and the content. But if you ended up missing the live stream and the giveaway, don't worry, we will have other opportunities. The plan is to give away at least 1 copy every Saturday going forward so that we can get more people and grow this amazing community. And ultimately, the goal is to support the devs. Now, we're also going to be doing a $100 Amazon gift card when we do cross over the magical 90,000 subscribers here at the channel. I want to do something as a thank you for y'all's support. And then finally, when we get to that magical 100,000 subscribers, we will be doing a Switch 2 giveaway here at the channel. And the way that you guys are continuing to subscribe to the channel, that might not be too far off. So thank you guys so very much. But let's dive into the news. Let's talk about patch number 1. It's starting to take shape. In the last video we did on this, Thomas had teased out that patch number 1 is going to make some draws. that'd be wild. Some jaws drop. And saying that one of the things that he teased is that you'll be able to assign up to 8 runes or skills on your character. Now, we've already gone into depth about the Final Fantasy Tactics inspired job class system, and I know a lot of people are positive and negative about just those announcements. So as that starts to take shape, we will be covering it here. But Thomas also shares this, and this is probably going to be the controversial part of the video. I really very curious to how y'all think, because I'm of mixed opinions about what we're about to talk about. Thomas writes, folks, we're obviously getting a lot of messages like that, and we'd like to challenge the status quo on this again. So we're working on realm tiers and ultimately custom realms. Now, when I talked to Thomas about this in the fall, this is something they've been thinking about. Like, they weren't ready to commit to it in the fall, but this feels like this is going to be something we're going to see happen more frequently. There's some positive to this too, so don't just read this and think that we're talking just difficulty. There's some really interesting things he goes on to say. We had a system sync where we tried to assess what made Elden Ring blow up as compared to Souls games before it, and it ultimately concluded that it came down to accessibility. Maziki, and I'm sorry for butchering that name, didn't add an easy mode, but he made Elden Ring easily the most accessible Souls game ever. Get stuck at Margaret early on? No problem. Just roam around the world, get some really good gear, and try again. you'll have a way easier time. Suddenly, way more people were able to enjoy their time with it. Realm tiers will achieve the same thing. We're not talking we're not taking the original experience away from anybody, but we will allow players who struggle to get an easy in. After we've added in realm tiers, custom realms is something I wanted to do for a while in order to give players an insane amount of replayability. Right now, if we'd like to change a certain aspect of Wicked, we need to change it for everybody, and custom realms will solve that. Not to mention that this will be amazing co-op, since players could set up their realms like they would set up a D&D campaign. This will allow us to have and do fun things like invasions. And just to kind of call that out, the invasions has been one of the #1 PvP comments that people have been asking for. So imagine it being able, like, by default, like, invasions are off. But if you're like, okay, we want to get some crazy stuff going on, just the option that you can kind of control your experience. And so on, without ruining the game for people who just don't want to deal with that feature. In many ways, with all of this, we will test out all of these hypotheses that gamers and journalists have been arguing about for a decade or more. So let's put that to the test. They have the platform for it. And the TLDR about what the debate is, because whenever a Souls-like, RPG comes out, there is always going to be this debate about difficulty and how it does gatekeep some people from playing these games, and that could be due to a wide range of reasons. If you ask Alana Pierce, it could be because you have a disability called having a child. But that whole chaos coming down last year was, that's just tip of the iceberg. That being said, that joke, I'm just kind of having fun here. That being said, is that there's always going to be this debate, and if you add in difficulty tiers, this was like, you end up, as long as the developers want the experience, I'm fine with it, right? But I don't want the gamers to necessarily dictate to the developers what kind of experience they want, because we see that happen time and time again. It's kind of like, I don't like the thing, and then you have a community that likes the thing, and then they make a change, and then the person who said that they didn't like the thing don't even bother picking it up. They just wanted to complain for complaining's sake. I don't see that as actually what's happening here, because Thomas has talked about this before, the ability to customize and build out some insane kind of realms that can do all different kinds of things, that can level up that challenge. Hardcore mode is one of those things. It's not for everybody. It is a modifier. It allows you to kind of do different things, and it does make the play experience much different. Like it's a way of just breathing fresh life into something for those who need it. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is implemented. It's going to be interesting to see everybody's reaction to it. Now, I specifically said, might I suggest that with tiers and with custom realms, that some icons would actually show up on the UI to communicate to anyone who views it what options have been turned on and off. If you guys have seen Final Fantasy 16, they do this. You have various different bands that you can equip that modify how the game kind of plays and does some things for you, and it will show up on the UI. So anybody who's kind of watching it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they're using the modifiers, which is perfectly fine for you to do, but that way it prevents somebody in like a content creator's position to be like, oh, hardcore ultimate run, beat the boss 10 minutes. And it's like, well, did he? Like, he lowered, he changed everything so that, everything just kind of one shot or something. I don't know if they're going to give us that ability, but that's an example. So that way, no matter what, that information can be easily communicated and understood by anybody who's taking part in that. Now, Thomas replied, yep, that's going to happen. And I said, thank you. So I'm so glad to see that. I love the amount of communication the devs do put out there, and I hope that I can be providing some value for you guys as well by taking this and kind of hopefully bringing it into a solid freaking package for you guys. Now, Thomas goes on over on Twitter to talk about, yes, this is going to happen in regards to armor mannequins and houses. Now, when this will happen, most likely with the Sacrament update, so not necessarily patch number 1, more like maybe patch number 2 in this regards. And speaking of which, they've committed a couple different times that the next wipe will be the 1.0 wipe. So for those of you who are on the fence, we still have a while to go for 1.0, so you can help shape the game. But just as a heads up, that's what they're committing to with this release going into the next one. Anyway, he says, back when we first brought up housing as a feature internally, quite a few of our devs told me that RPG players don't want to spend time making dollhouses. And now these RPG players ask for more and more features for their dollhouses. Fear not, I'm right here with you guys all. I think building up sacrament and housing should be just as important as building up your character. We shouldn't force players on it, but if they want to engage, let's give them something amazing to engage with. Buying a house and turning it into a cool-ass armory would be especially cool in co-op, since you could basically become a blacksmith of the town who sells cool gear. Also, as in a note, somebody was asking about how many weapons were added in the breach. They upped the weapons from 100 to 150, so there are 50 new weapons in this game, which is pretty wild if you think about it, and that's only going to grow from here. There's more things that they've already teased out for a while, so it's going to be neat to see how that plays out. All right, update from my console fellow players, because I also am looking forward to console, especially because this is going to be a game that supports crossplay and cross-save. Nerd Object says, as far as growing the game, there's a couple of support on your roadmap. You're leaving a large share of players on the table by not doing this today. It's an absolute imperative, more so than PC, to be on consoles. You already did the hard part, which is controller support. And Thomas replies, it's not that easy to do early access on consoles. There are exceptions, like we see PoE2 doing it, so it's like, this isn't him saying that it can't happen, but here he goes. We're basically following the same strategy Larian laid out with Baldur's Gate 3. Perfect in early access, then shipped to all platforms when it is all done. The strength in this, like if we're going to look for the silver lining, because I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, they're going to have to wait till 1.0. But I would say this confirms that 1.0 is when the console release will happen. There might be an internal thing. There might be, so maybe a beta to kind of test it out or something like that. I'll keep you guys up to date. But the strength here is terms of marketing and hype, because the PC players, we kind of go through the pain points, and then the game is, like he says, perfect. They're ready to rock and roll. Then all of you guys who've been waiting for console gets that premiere experience, and that ends up just kind of bringing it, marketing in and of itself, not just the money that they spend on marketing, but the all around it, the streamers, the players, everybody, the excitement. Finally, this game is on consoles. As to when you can you kind of start to expect it, right now, I think we're still on track for patch number 1 in, late July, maybe early August. Hopefully, I would love it for be sooner, but let's just try to give that the bandwidth, and we've covered that. Thomas is hoping for a 2 to 3 month kind of time frame between these kind of bigger updates. Then essentially, if you think about that, October, November, maybe December, that puts them right around the Game Awards to be able to kind of do another big announcement, big marketing push, get more players checking it out. That would obviously, we'd have the multiplayers in, Sacrament update then. Then essentially that would put us next spring for Combat 2.0. So that's not 1.0's release. That's just like the big combat, overhaul everything, another systems pass, another balance pass, et cetera, et cetera. That in and of itself would then kind of lead into perhaps a summer or an official fall 1.0 release. That's a pretty tight timeline. And if all things go according to plan, that's kind of the timeline that I'm thinking as a developer myself when I think about all the things they've talked about wanting to implement. And they've been working on a lot of these things, so not all of it actually happens in a linear fashion. Some of these things have been happening and been worked on for over a year, so they'll be getting ready to get kind of moved in, like multiplayer. They've been playing multiplayer in their development environment. Hopefully we'll be able to be playing it together here as well. That's the news, guys. I really hope that was some good information for you. And I just, if you're going to hang out for the message of hope, awesome. If not, I wish you guys all the very best. But let's pivot into this, because this is something that's kind of been coming up. Today's message of hope, I want to talk about kind of the dangers and kind of being on guard about just being constantly affirmed. Affirm has a double meaning, especially in the online world. But what I mean by this is that if you're not in a good spot, right? Like, I'm still overweight. I still got weight to lose. I'm down 85 pounds so far. Still, like, it's a struggle right now. Like, it has definitely slowed down over the last year. And I really got to redouble my efforts and refocus. It's easy to allow people to be like, hey, you look great. And to kind of relax a bit, to take my foot off the pedal. And that's what I mean by it. It's like affirmation. There's some positive things that, like I say, it feels good to be affirmed. But don't let affirmation become a prison in which that you stop working on yourself. it's easy to, you know, and it feels good to be like, yeah, I'm great or something like that, you know, and it's good to have confidence and believe in yourself. And I want you to do that. But if you're not where you want to be, if you're not satisfied in what's going on in your life today, like that's what I want you to kind of be on the lookout for. It's like, okay, yeah, like, thank you. You know, you can accept a compliment, right? Like, don't be a jackass and be like, oh no, I suck. No, it's like, no, you can be polite, but just be aware of that. Keep your head on a swivel, because I want you to keep working on yourself. I want you to look at these goals that you have. And if you don't have any goals, well, step one, let's get some goals. And they don't have to be big things. Like, set some easy wins for yourself. That's what I do. I get seasonal depression. And so I have just kind of a go-to set of tools that I do when it comes on, when I'm feeling like I can't get out of bed. It's like I brush my teeth, you know, take a shower, make the bed. You can even break it down to even easier, like wiggle your toes. Like, it doesn't have to be big. It just needs to be like, how can I get a win? I'm going to tell myself to do something, and then I'm going to do it. I'm going to will my body to do the thing that I want it to be. So that's what I want to kind of tell you guys today. I want you to be the person that you want to be. And part of that is painful. It's a little bit of suffering. It would be so much easier to do and just to kick back and take your foot off the gas and just kind of go along with the flow. But that eventually does catch up to you. And I know I'm speaking to somebody here today who is in that position. Maybe you've taken your foot off the gas. And this is me encouraging you, especially in this week, get that foot back on that gas, you know, get back into the fight, you know, and it's important. You know, I think you're going to find a lot of joy in it, you know, especially as we all kind of suffer together, that there is a real joy. There is a real hope in all of this. And suffering, I think, also has a real value in our lives. It sucks, but it makes us more human and actually makes us easier to relate to each other. Because who here isn't suffering? Who here hasn't suffered? We all are. It's like, this is the shared humanity that you and I have together. Anyway, guys, I wish you all the best. Be the person you want to be. And it's, you know, whether it takes you a day to get there or 10 years or 100 years, never give up on yourself, because you're worth it. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. God bless each and every one of you. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. But until then, take care.